All right, it's New York City. It's noisy. So what am I going to do? Just going to tell you the information and just work with me. Okay, look. I think everybody's looking at this in a very weird way. Everybody's been looking at popcorn, the creation of ape and everything. And that's okay. But that's past tense. That's how we got here. Now, put on your transmifrite detective hats on for a second and ask yourself, how do they clean up this operation? Well, first you got to look no further than our fearless leader, Popcorn. Remember when this lawsuit started? He said that this was a frivolous lawsuit, and then all of a sudden he had 100 million ready to take care of this frivolous lawsuit. Okay. That lawsuit has spanned into several months. The judge has ordered, the vice chancellor has ordered the postcards, us to mail in objections. We've been added onto this. The settlement price has been upped by AMC, I think to 120 million, 125 million. It doesn't sound like a frivolous little lawsuit anymore, but yet our CEO has not commented on anything. I think people need to start thinking about enough with Antara and Citigroup and everything else, and let's look at Allegheny. Let's look at who is Allegheny, who manages that fund, who does their paperwork on the street. When you start to see that rabbit hole unfold, then you'll start to understand the backside of this cleanup operation. Both sides wanted to settle. I'm going to tell you something. Hear me on this. I'm not an attorney, but I can tell you one thing. You don't got to be that smart to be one. At the end of the day, people wind up in litigation after they could not seek some type of resolution outside of court. So, my question is, when did Allegheny first bring up their issue with AMC and APE with AMC? When did this start? When this entire process started? Because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it just wound up in court. Even better. Remember when they reached the settlement? Popcorn had that 8K ready to file. It was there in 2 seconds. And the judge was the one, the vice chancellor was the one, she was like, oh, what the fuck is this? Well, guess what? There's something wrong in this, because I know, like, before I start a lawsuit, I go through the process of building up to the go, no go part, as far as like retaining the attorney, say we're going forward on this. How did that happen? They just out of nowhere just sprung a lawsuit? That's kind of stupid. For that little bit of stock, which is already published out there. Why? You understand now why? Think about it. It's a perfect patsy operation. It's no different. Listen, I'm going to leave names out of it, okay? But you'll get an idea. It's like setting up a side rat line. Somebody else holds your stock that allows you to manipulate the stock into a certain way. I'll leave it at that before I start getting fucking phone calls and shit. Listen, this is the real deal. Why would Allegheny, which is a small holding, spend a lot of money, legal services, to seek a settlement that at the end of the day could have probably been handled with cease and desist, couple of conversations back and forth? Why go straight to the court system? Secondly, people need to look at this. With that siren, whoever's in that ambulance, he ain't getting to the hospital. Okay. Has Allegheny ever engaged in any type of litigation like this before? 2 seconds. Finally turned on the siren. So, have they turned to the court system, this court system, in order to resolve things? Because that's where my question lies. Like all of a sudden. So I think people need to stop looking at where they're looking at every day. Were there any email communications between Allegheny and AMC? Because what was the whole thing? It was like 800 something, 800 shares or something like that. Some ridiculous little number. Like for real. I know old ladies in our community that hold more than this fund. So, is this fund nothing but a patsy? Also, what is Allegheny invested into? What other things do they have? Obviously, stock in. What do they hold stock in? Suspect. But if you want to start chasing down the rabbit hole, there you go.